Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Shooting the Shit Uncensored. It is me, your host, the dad bod fucking god himself, the bald, the beard, the fucking beautiful Piers Austin. And tonight I've got an amazing guest, but I've also got a pretty amazing co-host, my good buddy, my good compadre from New York, Mr. Cade Lothbrock. Dude, thank you for coming on and doing this show with me tonight, bro. I really appreciate having you on.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. I can't wait for this. Alex is a good dude. He's a good friend of mine, and obviously, I'm here to make a spot on the podcast network. So that's what I'm here to do, and I will be doing that because I'm better than him.
There you go, man. And we do have Alex Cologne, pound for pound, probably the best or the top deathmatch worker in the world today, really. There's a lot of amazing talents out there, and I think Alex is definitely leading the way. But before we get into the show, I want to take a quick pause for the cause. We're going to thank some sponsors. First up is Sleefs.com. That's SLEEFS, Sleefs.com. Now, if you or someone you know is an athlete, you need to check out Sleefs.com. They've got compression pants, compression shorts, compression socks, headbands, mouth guards, armbands. Dude, they've even got dirty boxes, and they sent me a box of these boxes. That makes no sense. Well, it kind of does. A box of the dirty boxes. They sent me a box of the dirty boxes, dude. And like you, Kate, I'm an active guy. I'm nonstop. I got 3 kids. I'm at the gym. These boxes keep me dry. They stay comfortable all day long, and they've got some pretty funky, funny designs to keep that special person in your life giggling and smiling in the bedroom, if you know what I'm saying. Guys, check out Sleeps.com. Use that promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount on your final purchase. Next up, we got that healthvape.com. Guys, if you're a smoker, you're a vapor person, you want to get into a healthier lifestyle, guys, then check out healthvape.com. All of their products are no nicotine, no addictive or harmful chemicals, and they are vitamin infused. Guys, use promo code MWAPOD. Check out some of their vape and pod products. Use that promo code and get 10% off your final purchase. At Cade as well, man, MWA Podcast Network, bro. We have shows going nearly every single day this week, bro.
It's awesome, man.
Man, we got 7 shows that we run. We got Killing the Business, which is starting in a couple of hours, hosted by ECW Original, the Kingpin, Angel Medina, with King Mega, and also the Burger King, Glenn Sexton. We got Knights of the Gimmick Table, hosted by the Dead Presidents, Boogaloo and Lowrider. We've got, Get Funked, hosted by Alan Kwee Funk, former WCW star. We got Wrestling with Sports. We got the Funkin' Kingpin Show. We got Shooting the Shit. We got NXT Roundup. Bro, we really are that one-stop shop. We're that one-stop shop, bro, for all your pro wrestling entertainment. So, wherever you guys are finding us, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share, leave us a comment, and we much appreciate it. But, guys, without further ado, I think we bring out our guest of the moment, Mr. Alex Cologne. Alex, thanks for joining the show, brother.
There he is.
Cade.
Old Dust himself.
March, bro. March.
Oh,
matter of fact, hold up. Speaking of March.
There it is.
Bring that heat.
Man, thank you for coming back on the show, man. It's good to see you again and have you back on, man. How you been?
Yeah, I've been all right, man. I'm alive right now, at least. This coming weekend is NGI, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, right.
Well, NGI's this weekend?
It's coming up, yeah.
See, that's how much I pay attention anymore.
You're the worst.
I am.
Worst. Yeah. He's got a regular life. A regular life.
I do, man. I got Masada this Saturday, tomorrow, in a cage, all right?
Yeah.
I got my work for me. Yeah.
Oh, man. Sounds like it's going to be
someone
a busy
we know
couple
very
weeks.
well.
Yeah.
So,
Alex, Piers didn't tell you. You're the second choice. G. Hogan passed.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
G-Raver's the worst.
He is the absolute worst.
He's too over. He's too over, bro.
Yeah, well,
That's it, man. But, Alex, you mentioned going into NGI coming up next weekend, bro. The deathmatch tournaments and the deathmatch scenes, in the last few years has really sort of, blown up, getting bigger and bigger. We've seen like performers that wouldn't necessarily even think about going in and doing death matches now starting to do it. We've seen Matt Cardona with Nick Gage. you know, as far as like the deathmatch scene itself, how do you feel about like seeing guys that are non-deathmatch guys coming in and dipping their toe in? Is it like, oh, this is cool, it's going to bring more eyes to what we're doing, or is it more along the lines of like, this motherfucker's coming in to try and play in our yard?
It's a little bit of everything. Like, obviously some people are doing it for their own benefit of exposure, and then, you know, other people are doing it to help the companies out. So I feel like it's all over the spectrum, because, you know, I'm around the deathmatch community a lot, fans, and then also wrestlers, and then, you know, some of the wrestlers will tout when a random person wants to do one, because they assume they're just doing it for their own benefit, because as we all know, during the pandemic, deathmatch wrestling has kind of been what's been holding a lot of the glue and stuff together. So some of them look at it as, oh, it's kind of like a slight on our style, like, oh, they want to come in and do what we do. But at the same token, as a professional wrestler, you have to be even rounded in all areas. So it really, to me at least, it really doesn't matter to that degree. Like, I feel like I'm gonna go into their style, they're gonna come into my style, so it really doesn't matter. So like the whole reaction is just, like I said, it's just all over the spectrum. Like, some good, some bad. There's no really like strict point on either side.
Yeah, sure. And as far as, you know, like, you know, seeing some of these death matches as go, like I saw the other week, I think it was Carnage Cup Deep South, where like I think some guy got the tip of his finger cut off. You know, like at what point is like going too far and going too extreme to get over? You know what I mean?
That's not even
Yeah.
about wrestling. That shit's not even about wrestling. That's just people who like to mutilate themselves. I don't like to mutilate myself. You know, I like to far from do that. Like, that's deathmatch wrestling. It has the word wrestling in it, and a lot of people sometimes have problems distinguishing it. Like, some dudes, that there's guys, and I know it might be hard to believe, but there's some guys out there, wrestlers, whatever, that like to go out there and they like to commit self-harm, and that's kind of like their thing. But that's not a thing. That's not wrestling. Wrestling isn't, oh, let me cut myself, or let me land into a bunch of shit, or cut off my finger, and that's going to make me 10 times cooler, and I enjoy it. I don't, as a professional wrestler, I don't enjoy it. We're good, like, and Kate will say, we're good at this style of wrestling because we mix in the wrestling with the weapons, and then we pinpoint our psychology with all that. So we try to bring it all together. A lot of the shit you'll see with these one-shot deals, these gifts, are just people who are just trying to get that view, trying to get their numbers up, try to get their face known from 10 seconds. A match is more than 10 seconds, and that's the problem, is a lot of these guys don't realize, like, your body of work is going to make you who you are. And if your body of work is a 10-second fucking clip of you doing something really stupid, that's not going to say much for the other, 9 minutes and 50 seconds. So come on, man.
And I think as well, it almost like then, you know, by going and doing something that, like mutilating yourself and cutting a bit of your finger off, it's like then the next time people see you perform, it's like, what's this guy going to do next?
Yeah.
What's this mother?
And I mean, I guess, but you're not going there for the wrestling at that point. You're just going there to see somebody hurt themselves.
And in a way, that kind of gives deathmatch wrestling a bad name. And it's like, I think deathmatch wrestling has always been that taboo thing. And I think it's like when someone does something like that, it's almost proves all those, you know, traditional style of wrestling fans or the older sort of fans, right, that, yeah, well, that's just garbage. Like that death match, it's not that promotion, it's that death match genre. This motherfucking chopped his finger off. You know what I mean? Like, and it gives them fuel for the fire.
It's, I mean, come on. What are we doing at that point? What are you doing as a person? Like, if you're gonna see me go into NGI and I'm gonna try to do something really dumb, like, I always feel like there is a point of no return. It's like, you can go so far where it's like, that's a little too much, at least in my eyes. Like, if I'm gonna have somebody like try to chainsaw my arm off or something, it's like, come on. Like, is it wrestling at that point? Like, there is a fine line. You just, as a deathmatch wrestler, especially if you call yourself a deathmatch wrestler, you have to kind of know how to skate that line. So like, you could get your point across when it comes to the psychology of the match, and then also like proving to these people that you're not just a hack and slash guy, and you're not just out there, you know, swinging a bunch of shit. You can actually do holds, you can actually do moves, and you can actually perform them in a way where like people in the business, not just fans, but like other professional wrestlers can respect you. Because trust me, there's plenty of the older generation of guys, even I've come across, and I still do to this day. They might not say they feel like, come on, but you can see it in their face. They're like, I don't know about, like, what are you doing? It's not wrestling to them. So our goal is to go out there, at this point, at least my goal as a professional wrestler, deathmatch wrestler, is to go out there and prove to the new and older generation that there is wrestling in this, and this is a part of that spectrum.
Yeah. Let me ask you both a question on this one. Have you guys ever been faced where you've like got an opponent or someone that is on the card that you guys are working on, you overhear them wanting to do a spot and you've gone, well, that's a little bit too much. And would you guys, being veterans now, interject yourself and say, hey man, you might want to rethink that?
Good,
For me, it really would depend. Like, it would depend on who it was, honestly. The only time I've really ever come across, like, I'm not going to go, like, if I hear Alex do, or whoever, someone that I'm on this, been doing this just as long as, I'm probably not going to interject. But some of these kids, and Alex can contest to this, man, like, because we were all young, but, some of these kids want to do some of this shit, and you're like, man, save it. Why are you doing it? The big thing Alex touched on was, this is wrestling, and essentially wrestling is a story, and that's the key component. A lot of people think deathmatch wrestling, they can just get into it because, well, it's just, there's no story, but there still needs to be a story. It's not about killing each other. And, to your point about, a lot of these young kids are just like, well, I can do a triple indie, but I can do it through glass. All right, cool. But then what are you going to do next time? Or what are you going to do when you should be doing that? So, like, I may say something to a young kid, a student that's coming up, like, hey, man, don't kill yourself for this. Save it for when you get that chance. But, we were all young and dumb. I'm sure Alex can contest.
Yeah. People don't realize it's about the moments, right? Like, it's cool that dudes could do 630s, or like, it's cool that somebody could do like crazy power drivers onto glass and all that shit. But like, at the end of the day, I feel like if you don't do it at the right time, you don't maximize the benefit of that situation. Like, there's more benefit in knowing where to place that, especially if you're telling a story and you place it in a certain point where the fans are like at their crescendo. It means way more than if you're like, you just bust it out. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to get that same reaction you could possibly get.
And that's kind of like, even, with doing any type of high spot or even lucha libre, for example, you could do 1,000 head scissors and hurricane ranas. But if you do certain spots that mean more and you get more of that impact, the audience is going to get more of that reaction for you.
Build,
yeah,
it's all about
I think the internet caused a lot of that, though. Like, everyone's so much living for that moment. Like Alex said, it's about that 5 seconds. Everyone wants that gift, like, get that viral gift around, that they will sacrifice the match or the story just to get that 3-second clip that goes viral. Even if it goes viral for a day, they just feel like that's what's going to get them over, instead of working to get themselves over. It's just about what they did, not what they're doing. And that's what I think is the real issue. It's
like, you could get to that point, but a lot of times you get into these situations where people maybe haven't had enough experience, or they haven't brushed up on whatever it is, psychology or their basics enough to understand you could build up to that point. You can still do it. Fuck, if you want to do a 630 through a pane of glass, you can still do it. But like, there has to be substance before you do it. You can't just doing it. It just makes, like, is that all you got? Like, what else do you have? What else can you do? Like, what else do you have? So everything before that 630 in the pane of glass has to mean something, has to build to that moment. Because if that's the only thing people remember from the match, like, that's the only thing you're going to be remembered for. Do you only want to be remembered for one move, or do you want to be remembered for multiple moments and moves?
Oh, 100%. And as far as, like, being able to go out there and do certain things as well, like, as far as you guys in your careers, how have you found, like, now over the years, have you guys sort of started to slow things down as far as what you guys are doing in the ring? As far as doing spots, are you doing less spots but making them mean more? But it could be less spots but bigger moments, if that makes sense.
Work smarter, not harder. I always felt like, I got told that a lot my first couple of years. And dude, and Cato attests, when you first break in, man, you want to do everything. You want to go, 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 go. Everything. Doesn't matter. Just do everything. Just do everything you can. And like the older you get, you are forced to slow down because your body breaks down easier. You have a longer rehab, longer recovery after these death matches, especially. It forces you into a situation where you got to think about what you're doing. And all right, if I'm gonna do this, I can't, I have to space it out properly. And younger guys, they don't see that. They're like, I'm not gonna space it out, and that's where you get sloppiness. Things don't link up right in the match. The spots aren't flowing, because there is a flow to everything, and and that keeps you from looking sloppy. It keeps everything that you're doing from looking very amateur. A lot of people don't understand that until they get enough experience or they get enough tenure, in the business, and they have people constantly drilling in their head, like, try this, try that, because it's a try that kind of business, because you could do stuff, but you have to try it first before you do it.
But I think as well, it's almost like, being able to prolong your career as well. I mean, you look at the deathmatch wrestling from like early 2000s, where it's like guys were literally having careers for like, 3-4 years and then piecing out of the business because of the injuries just were mounting up. And, I think the evolution of deathmatch wrestling over the last 20 years, we've started to see guys working, guys at a high level working, as you said, smarter, not harder, and looking at, how we can get more of an impact for that spot without killing ourselves. Because at the end of the day, pro wrestling is an illusion.
You have. Well, here's the thing: is like when it comes to American deathmatch scene, it's hard because a lot of companies want to run every big deathmatch, like every big deathmatch you think of, they want to run immediately, like it's on the dime, like no build. The reason you see all these Japanese deathmatch guys go until they're 50, 40, late 40s, 50s, is because everything's built. So they're having these tag matches, they're having these multi-mans, it's veteran versus young guy in a singles. So the young guy's bumping more for the veteran. The veteran's not taking as much damage. It's like the amount of damage they take in a month compared to the amount of damage a American deathmatch guy takes every month is crazy amount. And you can see it. Like, I don't know if Kate's had experience working deathmatch guys from other countries. That's not a diss, but like, whatever, guy. Mach, whatever, guy. But like, you can see the way they structure things, and then America guy will say, or he'll call something, or he'll like do something that they're not used to. They'll be like, oh, they'll look at you like you're crazy. I'm like, no, you guys are the crazy ones. But what you don't realize is they're doing one big spot a month. You're doing a big spot every weekend, and it's just like it's a difference in thinking. And that's what I feel like the American deathmatch scene is missing, is knowing how to build to these big matches, because we're just blowing through them and we're not thinking about, all right, we could actually, like, yeah, everybody wants to see this person versus this person in a big singles death match, but like, you can stretch it the fuck out. The crowd's not going to be mad. They're still going to get the violence they're looking for. You're just helping our bodies in the long run, and then we're getting longer careers out of it. But right now it's just not going to be the case. Everybody's attention span's very short.
And I think that's what wrestling fans has been over the last years. Like, you look at back in the day, in the 80s, like a feud would go like 4, 5, 6, even over a year before you'd even get a blow off. And I think over the years, people's attention spans, they want everything now. And I think it's because of having these and social media and all that sort of stuff. Everyone's got shit at their fingertips, where it's like, I don't want to wait. I want to sit there. Like, dude, when I got into deathmatch wrestling, bro, I had to sit there and call like XPW and CZW offices because there was no online ordering. It was like I had to make international phone calls to get tapes, bro. Yeah, dude.
You're showing your age. Relax.
Bro, I can even remember calling up one stage, being such a mark, and like calling CZW, going, oh yeah, can I get this? Is this Zandig? No, brother. This is it. I'm like, being just a little fucking mark boy, but it's crazy, man. But like, we've seen deathmatch wrestling sort of start to blow up here in Australia, which we just had a promotion, Deathmatch Down Under, which is pretty much like launched last year, and giving that level of entertainment to fans in Australia, which we haven't really had a lot of in the past.
Deathmatch Down Under is doing a big service for Australia, because a lot of its name is getting out there. Obviously, Joel's one of my good friends, so I talk to him all the time, and he's always updating me on things going on, especially during the pandemic, because it's just really messing up their business.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of good things lined up, and like I said, they're trying to bring a style of deathmatch to Australia that obviously we know well in the U.S. and then even in Japan they know well, and they're trying to mold these two different styles and bring it over to Australia and kind of make their own style. And trust me, Joel actually showed me that Mad Dog versus Lobo no rope barbed wire recently.
From 2000.
I never watched it. And I was like, what the hell is this shit?
Dude,
I was like, why haven't I seen it?
Dude, that match was infamous, like in Australia. Like I'd heard about it for years, I'd never seen it. And when I was talking to Joel about it, he's like, I'm gonna send you the link. Like, as soon as we're done, like, go and what. And as soon as I got it, bro, like, literally hadn't even hung up the phone. I was sitting there, like, going insane.
I was like, these dudes could have went to the US and did some stuff. It's crazy.
But, dude, they promoted that as a family-friendly show.
I know. He told me, and I laughed. I was like, Cade, you got to watch this shit. There is nothing family-friendly about this match, bro. They were doing shit that you'd be like, wow, I wouldn't do that.
But dude, that's the thing. Mad Dog has been over to Japan and stuff like that. And Lobo, I think he doesn't wrestle anymore. But Mad Dog, he's still around, man. He's insane, dude. He's like one of an icon for hardcore wrestling here in Australia. Him and Crackerjack. So it's just crazy. But as far as you guys coming over, like, has there been any talk of you guys coming over and having some matches in Australia for Deathmatch Down Under?
Yeah, we're just and I'm not the only one Deathmatch Down Under's been talking to, but like everyone's just waiting for the pandemic to slow up and for like the gateways to open so we can all just kind of like intertwine, and that's just what everyone's waiting for. I mean, especially me. I'm wait, bro. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm at the starting line. Like, let's go.
First one in line to come over. Yeah, exactly, man. But as far as being able to go out and do death matches week in and week out, how hard is it for you guys to back up? Like you could have like a brutal death match one Saturday, and then the next week you got to go and have another one against someone else. Like how can you guys back up every single week to go and do that?
Me personally, I space things out. Like when I don't space things out, it's a tough shot. You just got to do what you got to do. But I try to at least know, all right, if I'm not going to do 2 deathmatch tournaments back to back on 2 separate weeks, like, because for me, at least it takes 2 to 3 weeks for me to fully heal up from a tournament. And I just personally for myself, I know how to space things out. Being older, I don't want to completely ruin myself. Young guys, they'll heal up super fast, so they don't care. They'll just do them every weekend, which is cool. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but it's like take something, like I always say, take something out of whatever situation you're in, whether it's money or it's exposure or it's a learning thing. Like you should be able to take something out of every match you go into.
Oh, absolutely. And, one of the things I saw, Alex, was I think it was a documentary where, you turn around, it was after a match, you were very emotional, and you were saying, deathmatch wrestling isn't for the workers, it isn't for anybody else, it's for the fans. This is what we do. This is why our lifespan in this, isn't a long lifespan. We come out here, we do this because, this is what it is. How do you see your career going? Like, you've been around for quite a few years now. Like, do you have an expiration date? Do you have a date where you sit there and go, you know what, this is when I want to get out of the business?
Yeah, I think around 40 is what and a lot of kids look at laughing. He's like, yeah, right, dude, you're gonna quit and come right back.
You like
no,
us all,
yeah,
no,
I can't. No, I've already trust me, I've already got it all mapped out. It's just not. I can't do this forever, man. Like my body already sucks. So it's like, how many years do you have left? You don't want to do it too long to where you're so slowed down and you're hurting. Next thing you know, you're taking medication to like heal the pain, and then it becomes a situation. I don't want any of that to happen to me. So like 40 is where the cutoff is for me. I mean, I'm 90% sure. Like he's like, yeah, right, motherfucker. But like I'm 90% sure 40 is it for me. And I don't even want to have any like, oh, this is his retirement match. I literally want my 40th birthday to come along, and then that's it. That's like, it's done. I don't want to let anyone know. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
We got Callan Butcher, Australian deathmatch wrestler, Australian indie wrestler, who says not getting out of the business until you get down here. So,
well, oh yeah, definitely. Well, Joel tells me all the time. He's like, "You're not allowed to be done until." I'm like, "Dude, I'll be over before I'm 40. We're good."
but do you think you'll stop doing deathmatch wrestling at that time and just do like regular matches, or is that like done?
I
Out
don't.
of the
I've
business,
I've
check out?
already. Yeah, I don't know. I spent 10 years doing the whole regular wrestling thing, and at least for me, I don't. Maybe I could go, death match, and I could go right back into, because Moxley's done it. He went from regular death match then back. Drake Younger kind of did it. RIP original Drake Younger kind of did it. He went from fucking regular death match and then back. And you can. I just, at least the evolution of me, I just don't want to. Oh well, I'm just gonna I can't. Like, my mindset right now is very deathmatch driven. Even if I was on TV, I would be able to fillet my style into a hardcore style still. So I don't feel like I could go backwards. I can only go forward. So the evolution of me, it would just depend. The evolution of me. I just, right now in my own head, I'm a deathmatch guy, and then I'm going to be a deathmatch guy till I'm done.
That's awesome, man. And, as far as, with, what's happening now in, over with the indies and everything like that, from what we've seen in the last, 12 months, we've seen the speaking out movement. We've seen the wrestling business being cleaned up.
Yeah.
And it really seems that like the deathmatch industry specifically is really, trying to be a safer place in wrestling for a lot of people as well. Like, as far as fans, and trying to sort of distance themselves from a lot of that bullshit.
Let's not have kids in the first row. Like, I have a daughter. She's 6 years old. You're not going to catch her.
Going there. You're going there. You're going there.
We're going there. We're there. We are. Bro, my kid does not come to deathmatch shows. She's been to wrestling shows as a baby, but these are regular shows, and then she wasn't even in the crowd. She was all the way in the back.
I agree with you.
You're not catching my kid at these things. Like, some people, they're going to do what they want to do. But if Dyfish shows up, if Child Services shows up and they see that shit, you ain't having a kid no more. Like,
well, bro,
it's common sense. It's common sense, though. It's common sense.
I couldn't believe when I heard DJ Hyde, he got asked like at Tournament of Death. It's like, who do you have turn up here? Like, kids, adults, anyone who pays money? I'm like, dude, like, at what part of like being?
Well, I mean, look who's answering that fucking question, though.
Yeah, I know, dude, but like, to be a business owner, having a proper like understanding.
I was on a show. I'm not gonna say what it was. We all probably could piece it together recently, and there were kids in the first row at this deathmatch show. And I literally looked down, I spotted them, and I turned to all the fucking people in the turnaround. I was like, "Yo, stay away from the right fucking side because there are kids in the first row." And it's like, this shit just blew up recently because of the Murdoch pane of glass incident. So everybody there knew what the situation was. The promoter knew what the situation was, but still let it happen. And it's like, come on, man, like, tighten up a little bit. Do you want to end up in the indie wrestling news for a guy just got canceled because he decided to let kids in there and some assholes decided to break a bunch of light tubes near his kids?
You know just what I do, bro. Some of these promoters, a lot of them don't give a shit. They just
some of them don't. But like, at the end of the day, then it's up to me to make sure, at least during what I'm doing, that they're not going to be fucked with. So I made sure to keep everything I did away from them fucking children, because that's, to me, I'm a dad. That's ridiculous shit. Like, dude, why are your kids in the first row? Like, be a grown ass adult and like push them back far, push them back or something. Like, hey, you kids gotta go back.
I mean, like you said, dude, I as far as the Murdoch thing go, like, I don't know, man. Like, maybe don't do glass shit like that close to the crowd, regardless. That's just my thing. Keep the shit in the ring.
My thing is, if you're a grown adult and you're coming to this show, you know
the risk too.
A kid, listen to me. A child is not technically responsible for themselves to the age of 18. So if a child's there, it's because an adult took them there. Regardless if the child's like, yes, I want to go.
Yeah,
all right, it's up to you as an adult to make the decision whether this is a safe environment for them or not. An adult has the decision on their own to decide if this is safe for them or not. So if they show up and they get sprayed with glass, they're grown ass fucking adults. They know what the situation is. A child cannot fully comprehend what they're bringing themselves into, because when a child gets cut, it's a different scream from when a grown-ass adult gets cut.
Yeah, and you know, and you know what the thing is as well, it's like deathmatch wrestling can be a very graphic and full-on thing to witness, and some people can wig out just from being in the audience and watching that sort of shit live, because it's two different things, watching it live and seeing it on a screen. When it's face to face and you're seeing that shit, like even adults can get fucked up from it. But if the parents aren't going to sit there and have that common sense, then the promoter needs to sit there as a duty of care going, you know what, it's probably a good thing that you sit this show the fuck out. You know what I mean? Because seeing people getting carved up, and if the kids are young enough, I got 3 kids, man. Like I love deathmatch wrestling, but I'm not going to take my kids to a show.
Yeah, my daughter's not coming to one. It's just not going to happen. That's just who I am. Like, she sees me come home and cut up and shit, but like, I'm not gonna let her go into a crowd where like stuff will fly towards her, and then you have grown adults who are like getting excited, so they're like flailing all over the place. So why is your kid there? Why? I can't comprehend that. A grown adult, do what you want. You're a grown adult, but like a child, it's a whole different other measure.
How's your little one when you do come home cut up, man? Like what's the conversation
she
like?
Asking me if I'm all right, and she at this point she knows it's wrestling induced, so she's like, "Are you all right?" And tries to take care of me.
Is she smart? Have you smartened her up to the business, or does she think everything's a shoot?
Oh, I just tell her it's not real. It's fine. It's not real. It's Vince McMahon ruined the business about 20 years ago. Like 16, 17. How many K were we at? 1996.
Come on, man.
Whatever, bro. He ruined it forever ago.
Come on, man.
It's a wrap.
Why are you breaking kayfabe?
It's not, bro. It's what MMA's for. It's a wrap. All right. It's a wrap.
But bro, pro wrestling's kind of like the mafia, bro. Right? Like no one in the mafia and pro wrestling is the old school. Never going to admit to it. Pro
wrestling could be real if you wanted to fucking be real. You can attest, Kate. Pro wrestling could be real. You could beat somebody's ass for real if you want. That's what you want to do. But 9 times out of 10, this is a brotherhood. For the most part, we are all here to do business together. And 9 times out of 10, the people who don't want to do business together tend to get weeded out, or they tend to get kind of black sheep to the side.
They start their own companies.
Yeah, whatever. I don't see Rob Black wrestling, so don't worry about that one.
that was gonna be my next question. We've seen Rob Black, in XPW make a return, and you're making a return this weekend.
Yeah.
And being an old school fan, I looked at it with knowing everything, or what I know of everything that happened with XPW in the past. Is this just like a flash in the pan, dark side of the ring type of thing for him to sort of get his name relevant? Or do you think XPW is going to be a regular place for the boys to work and performers to work?
Shit, if I know. I didn't, before that dark side of the ring thing, I didn't know how this guy was. I really didn't have a idea, like, other than I would watch XPW clips back in the day. And you didn't realize how much of a scumbag this dude was. Like, He told fucking Luke Hawks to take headshots just because Messiah took a headshot a couple times. Like, who the fuck are you to tell me how to do my job? Like, how about I hit you with a fucking chair? Like, that's just my attitude. Like, Kate will fucking attest. Like,
that's the thing. Wasn't it like Luke Hawks was saying that he got someone, I think Supreme went in there and started shooting on him or something because of the chair shot?
Yeah, because he put his hand up like a normal fucking person should.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Rob Black thing, that's Sunday. I think he's running like an hour from where I'm up in Binghamton. I met him. I didn't know it was Rob Black, but I met him, had conversations with him. I know there's a lot of negative stuff with a lot of guys pulling off. All I know is, like, he's got a lot of, our friends on the show, Masada, Schlack, Raver. It's in New York. So, Alex, New York, you can't do a fucking thing without
do nothing
down your throat. I don't know what he's going to do. Talking to him and he was talking to the promoter that runs Excite. He's telling him he's going to do New York and California. Dude, I don't know. Everyone's up in the air about it. I mean, the dude has a checkered past, but I'm happy for my friends getting work. But I don't know what's going to happen. He definitely in New York. If anyone's thinking it's going to be some crazy XPW type shit, it ain't going to fly in New York, man. They're going to be on him like fucking.
Police will be called. Police will be called.
I mean, the commission came down on AEW for Brody Jr. in the ring. I don't think they're going to be cool with people fucking getting your heads caved in with fucking shit.
Dude, New York doesn't play games. I've been down this path many times. Obviously, Cade is down that path all the time.
Yeah, it's great.
They're no blood, no nothing, not a damn thing.
I actually laughed when I saw like someone like hit Schlack up and said like, how could you work for Rob Black, that piece of shit, that low life, human being? How do you sleep at night? And Schlack goes, I sleep at night on a pillow. He goes, what was it? He said, he goes, I don't pay my bills with feelings and like good fortunes. He goes, this motherfucker's paying me. He goes, I'm turning up.
Yeah, that's like what just happened at the Onita show. When everyone bitching about Rob Feinstein being like, we talked about it before the show. Yeah. Like, look, man, I can't speak for Alex, or I can speak for myself, but no one's paying my bills. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to lose a paycheck because some fan feels I shouldn't work there. Like, I didn't know Rob was there, and that's a shoot, believe me or not. But like,
you're not paying attention to this dude being at a table selling shit.
Dude, I didn't even know he was at the table. Legit.
No, bro, you go to the show, you do your job. This dude is just some random guy behind a fucking table. You're not like pointing him out. It's not like the whole fans parted the fucking sea, the Red Sea, to show you, hey, Rob Feinstein's here. Yeah, okay, do something about it.
It just sucks because like certain people, like Tara Calloway, a fucking sweetheart of a human being, is getting like attacked because she has a straight up legit organization for wrestlers and people. Yeah. And it's like, how could you work the show with him? I'll put fucking any amount of money. She was just like me. I probably had no idea he was even there. And regardless, he had nothing to do with the actual show. He was there helping Onita sell autographs. Like, people with that shit need to stop. Like, I get the Rob Black thing, but at the same time, guys like, especially a guy like Raver, this is how he makes his money. What is he supposed to do? Pass on a payday because two people feel like, oh, how could you? Well, are you going to pay him? Because if you're not, then just let us make our money.
It's not, here's the thing. It's not your job as a professional wrestler or performer on the show to be like looking deep into the crowd for one specific face. Like, I don't know about you, but when I'm in the ring, 9 times out of 10, I get tunnel vision and I really don't see much of the crowd.
No, the hell you do.
No, I don't. Yeah. I don't see.
What? We're going to talk about knowing Alex?
It's all a fucking blur. And then I'm in there doing my fucking job. You already know.
Beating people with a fucking water jug bat because you got pissed off. Fuck.
Hey, bro, it's a professional business. Yeah. I was just being a professional.
Piers, you don't understand that being in a locker room, if Alex is on, a couple people will watch, and everyone will be bullshitting, talking, all of a sudden you hear, yo, Alex is going Alex, and everyone jumps to the screen and watches motherfucker tee off on somebody because something happened that ticked them off.
Chondo.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
So you got a bit of a temper, Alex.
Oh, of course. I'm fucking Puerto Rican. I got a huge temper. But like, it's not like I'm. I try to take Chondo out so he couldn't finish the match. I just let him know, like, hey, look, bro, get it together.
Yeah, just kind of throwing like a bit
in a
of
nice
a
way.
Or a potato.
Yeah, it wasn't a sharp weapon. It was blunt.
It wasn't a sharp weapon. It was blunt. Like, saying that to someone who's probably not in the business, like, people would.
But that's the thing, man. Like, with that, like, me and Alex wrestled a few times. I know we went at it with each other. It's just the business. Like, I mean, deathmatch wrestlers, we're honestly, man, like the nicest guys. Everyone's mad chill, but there's also that camaraderie.
Deathmatch locker rooms are some of the best locker rooms I've ever been a part of.
Absolutely.
Dude, these super indie locker rooms sometimes, dudes are trying to cut each other's heads off so they can get a step higher. Everybody's playing these weird politics, this brother shit. I can't trust anybody in regular locker rooms half the time. But like deathmatch locker rooms, we all have to work together so we don't fucking get hurt. So we have to be able to trust each other to some degree.
Yeah,
can't all be slack and just beat people up and be like,
there is no God. But you know what? Like the thing is, like, I always say, deathmatch wrestling reminds me of like the metal scene. It's like you see like people that look like the roughest motherfuckers on earth, but in reality, they're the sweetest people that are like the most chillest people. You know what I mean? Like. And heavy metal and death metal and rock music is the same as deathmatch wrestling. I can see that there's like a very similarity between those.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, man. If you're in a locker room and it's Alex, myself, and Raver, most of the conversation is about wrestling figures and what new figures are coming out. Like that's like, it's not about like, oh, I'm gonna go do a fucking line and come beat the fuck. Like, we're talking about our families or making fun of each other. Or Alex is like, anyone got that Chase Bam Bam Bigelow, shit like that. But he's right though. Like these other locker rooms, you'll walk in and it's like this
more of
group
a mess.
guys, or this
It's more
this,
of a mess.
Yeah, like or this is the car from Ohio, this is the car from Pennsylvania, and like click, 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 and you're kind of like, this sucks. You go to the deathmatch locker room, it's like, yo, everyone's just like mingling with each other, and it's chill.
The way it should be.
Different, you know? And, you know, regular for the most part, super indie and regular locker rooms nowadays are a tiny bit different. Everybody's kind of a little bit more welcoming, but it's, you know, it's not as bad as it was back when I was in CCW. It was kind of bad. But like, you know, deathmatch was that was a fucking rough one. You were there when I was there. It was a rough one.
I was there when you were there, and then I got brought back, and then fucking oh god.
I heard CCW are making a comeback, but they're going to be a family friendly company or some shit.
That's what you want to call it.
Like I don't know, like just seeing like the raising money.
I mean, if Rob Black can come back, I guess CCW can kind of come back, right? Yeah. Stock.
You know, everyone clowns on DJ, and it's just like the cool thing to do. Everyone's like, whatever, man. Like, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like,
look,
CCW,
DJ the person is not a horrible person to any degree. Yeah. DJ the professional wrestling person.
Like, I'm not gonna knock my time in CZW because like that's where I met a bunch of my friends, like Alex, and I got to work with fucking Onita's boys, and like, I'm not going to knock it. Did I have a great time? No. I mean, Alex, you got to have Danny's last fucking match. Like, there's some cool moments that we all got to have. But in a whole, it was a fucking – if you weren't tight, like, the only one that I was close with that actually had any stroke, and this is not a – Matt is Matt, and Matt is the most giving human being. But even Matt, at some point, you could just see he was just like, fuck it. Like, you know, it could have been so much better. You know, CZW, it is what it is, man. We don't have to – fucking
dwell on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, it's, you know, anyone can come back, but like I said, you know, them going into a family-friendly type of promotion, you know, and I think that you saw that, you know, giving money to charity and raising funds for breast cancer awareness, I kind of felt like, to me, it was like with everything that happened with Speaking Out with DJ and CZW, it's kind of like, like, look, we're being good guys.
Yeah,
we've changed.
Yeah, well,
I promise, baby, I won't backhand you again.
Listen, I'm all in this, the cancel and the Me Too. There are some cases that I feel like it's a wrap. But like, if we're here for people to become better people, we got to let them seek help and then be okay with them acknowledging that they seeked help or they are seeking help. You know what I mean? And a lot of times you get this situation where, like, regardless if that person seeks help, we just don't give a fuck about them anymore. It's like, don't be completely heartless. Like, some cases, whatever, they're warranted. But then sometimes you have situations where we're telling these people, go get help. And then when they're like, hey, I'm getting help, I just want to, no, you're not allowed. Get the fuck out. Even though we told you to get help. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a weird, the environment right now when it comes to that shit is real weird. That's why
you gotta let people have a second. There needs to be a second chance. I mean, in some things, like, I don't think you'll see Joey Ryan coming back. No. But like, there's some guys that are canceled that it's like, I don't know, man. Look, everyone knows what Gage did. Gage is doing great now. Like,
he's a different guy.
Exactly. So if he never got a second chance, would he? It's like Alex said. It's fucking some of the shit's warranted.
Case by case. It's got to be case by case, and that's not the situation. A lot of times, it's like when a job goes out of business, it's a mass firing instead of like an individual case by case thing.
Yeah, well, like my big thing is like fucking. I know what's her face, Von Erie is getting a lot of heat because she's still friends with Joey Ryan, and it's like, I get it's not a good look, but if you're boys with someone, I don't know, like. That shit bothers me. It's like, just because you're friends with someone, and if they have a relationship outside of wrestling that they were tight way before that or for years, you're supposed to just cut somebody off because everyone else has to cut them off. Like, and then she's gonna get heat for it or be bashed. I get it. Joey's, what he did is completely fucked up, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I find shit like that really a fine line. Like, how can you hate on someone just because they're still friends with someone because they had a relationship way before anything ever happened?
Yeah.
That's just my take on it.
The wrestling like landscape when it comes to that stuff and social media being involved, it just expedites the whole situation. It's touching.
Hey man, a lot of those white knights are the ones that have skeletons in their closet, though.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
But as you said, it needs to be a case by case basis, and in some instances, it's like, you know, a young guy in his early 20s saying something that's inappropriate. Bro, the three of us have all been young and said dumb shit back in the day that we look back and go, fuck, I probably shouldn't have said that, or go, I'm embarrassed I did that. I'm embarrassed I said that.
Different generations, different times.
But instead of like blackballing someone, why not take someone like a 20-year-old kid who put out an inappropriate post or said something inappropriate in a locker room, pull him aside, smarten him up, and go, "Hey, kid, listen,
like be respectful."
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think that there's a way. Like, there's some shit where if you do something against someone's will, fuck you, get the fuck out. Of course, like no one would want to be around you. But for words and stuff like that, I think sometimes and social media posts, I think people need to be a little bit more willing to educate.
Everyone acts like they never got into an argument with their boyfriend or girlfriend.
Well, if you don't agree, a lot of times you don't agree with specific people, they have enough stroke to kind of like get rid of you, is what the case is. And I don't feel like we need to be looking at shit like that. Like, dude, life is short, unfortunately. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Don't ask me why. I better not die soon, Stock. But like, I've been having this like, no, it's like we all take things so fucking serious, and everybody's quick to like get rid of people and be all into other people's business. And like, that's not how I was raised, being into other people's business. It's like, you want to help somebody out, but you don't want to completely take the fucking steering wheel over. You know what I mean? That person should be able to drive their own fucking car.
You know, social media's told everyone, like, if you don't agree with the narrative,
it's like,
you're automatically against.
You don't agree with me. You should be gone. Like,
like, how can you not agree with me? It's like
I should be gone. What the fuck do you mean? I put for me personally, I'd be like, I put 15 years into like performing for audiences, and you're telling me I don't belong because I don't agree with what you're saying. Like, it's something called an argument. We don't have to fucking agree. We could agree to disagree, like grown ass adults. But a lot of times things are handled like 16-year-old affairs.
But because it comes down to politics, bro, as well. You look at Hulk Hogan, man. Like, the guy dropped racist comments, fucked his best friend's wife, and still got welcomed back in the business. Yeah,
I mean, did he even say like, "Hey, I fucked up"? Sorry, Booker T. Fuck.
I don't think he did.
Nah, and that's where it's at. It's like, at least own it. If you fuck up on something, I say as a person in general, if you fuck up on something at some point, at least own it, and be like, "Hey, this is what happened." Especially as an entertainer, because your fucking life is kind of put out there. Even wrestlers, for the most part, like fans are more so let into the business more than any other generation of wrestling at this point.
It's horrible.
So, like, to some degree, there you have to be somewhat transparent with what you're thinking and the way you're feeling. And sad part, sometimes even being transparent, I've seen things turned around on people. It's like, the dude's trying to like let him get his situation out or her situation out, and then we'll fucking take it from there. Don't, relax a little bit. There's no relax. Everybody's on edge. Pandemic made it worse.
How do you actually? I never asked you that. How do you feel about some of these fans just coming right into the, like, there are some companies, I'm not going to name names, but that use some fans, that are now on shows or have spots on the shows in deathmatch companies.
What my thing is, what job are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, if you're a part of the show at some point, then you're a part of the show. You getting paid for this, or are you paying to be a part of this? There has to be something there. You're not just gonna let somebody in. There's like an exchange of goods. Does that make sense? Like, there's an exchange of something in order for them to be a part of the situation. And then at that point, they're no longer a fan, kind of. They're kind of in the business. And if they're still dabbling with the fan aspects, then we're just giving up all the magic secrets at that point. We're letting somebody come in and look at all the magic and then just leave and be like, "It was me all along, Valentino." Who the fuck is Valentino? Anybody get that reference? They're probably not. Nope. There was a Stock backstory.
Is that some obscure Ohio reference?
No, you're an asshole. I was in Jersey. There is a Magic Secrets Exposed back in like the late 90s. Fox put on this Magic Secret Exposed, and then the dude's like,
The
everybody's
masked
like,
magician?
it's David Copperfield, or it's David Blaine, or whoever the fuck, and this dude's like, it's me, Valentino, and everybody's like, who the fuck is Valentino?
I know what you're talking about. I got you.
But you know what? It's funny. Like, you know, for me, I've been given opportunities to now cross that barrier and be involved in shows, in commentary and ring announcing and stuff like that.
You're doing a job.
Me as a long-term fan, understand the respect and the opportunity I've got doesn't usually come along to someone who ain't connected into the business on that level. So I'm appreciative of it, but also now is like, okay, as a fan, I've now got to be a little bit smarter about how I post things or something. Yeah, I mean, I have that in my mind. It's like, I'm not being a mark.
If you see something, I'm not saying it has to be something grimy, but if you see something in general that's supposed to be like hush hush when it comes to stories or what people are planning, you're not going to go out there and be like, hey, this is what I've seen, guys. Oh my God. Like, relax a little bit. Let the magic fucking show. You don't have to give it away automatically. Like, chill out. But sometimes you don't get that case. You get people who just, they want to be a part of the show, but they also want to be over the barricade. Like, unfortunately, you can only be on, you can't flip flop both sides. You can only be on either side.
But I think it's also on the being with the other fans on the barricade to make them look a bit like connected and smarter. Going,
yeah, we all want to be fans. At the end of the day, everybody's a fan of wrestling. I still watch professional wrestling. I'm sure Cade every now and then flips something on when he's bored. Because he hates wrestling. He just hates the business.
My shit's over.
But like, you know what I mean?
The bitter young vet.
We all watch something wrestling wise, regardless if it's like some old Japanese tape from the early 90s or like 80s fucking territories. We all watch wrestling and then we mark out for it, because how many times have you seen one of your guys who's a hero and you become a fanboy? So like, we all want to be fans to some degree, but like, as people who are a part of a business, we have to kind of treat it as such and understand there's still like a line we can't cross. We got to be careful about what we do.
Yeah, exactly. I think those sort of people need to realize when they see shit, you just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just chill out. Yeah, you know what's gonna happen, so chill out. Like, let the surprise happen for the other people. You know what I mean?
And dude, I've been in that situation where I've been smartened up to a couple of things, and you know, before it happened on a show, and I've gone, all right, cool. And then I'm at the show, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. All right, that really happened. Sweet. You know what I mean? Like, it comes down to not my place, not my pig, not my farm to tell that story. You know what I'm saying? And
I think there's a part of it, though, at least for me, and maybe because I'm a grizzled fuck and miserable. I go to some shows now, and there's legit like a guy that was maybe a year ago in the crowd as a fan, and now he's, you know, however he got on the show, he's doing a spot with the, you know, the guy that runs the show or whatever, and now, but he's still in the crowd, but now he's selling his own T-shirt, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it's just this mystique of, I don't know. I just find it very odd at how some promoters are just taking advantage of some fans, and they bring them in, but then they put them right back there. And now dudes are selling T-shirts. And I'm like, you didn't, you know, I don't care. You know, the idea of earning your way in the business is long gone. I mean, people get on shows now by getting retweets. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too bitter. I'm like you, Alex.
Not at all.
Listen, not everybody gets to the dance the same way, Cade. Every now and then you just got to figure out your way to get into the dance.
I got to start getting those retweets. I mean, fuck. I trained the fucker too.
Oh, but buy your own ticket, Cade.
I gotta
start tweeting, brother.
Oh, fuck that.
Get your ass online.
But man, you know, we are getting close to that 1 hour mark. Alex, you know, you mentioned, you know, the NGI coming up next weekend. You know, tell us a little bit about that tournament, man. Like, how many guys are involved, what's happening, you know, and where are you in the aspect?
Oh, there's 8 people involved. Some of the best 7 of the best deathmatch wrestlers in the world, including Kid Osborne. Poor Kid Osborne, man. He's gonna have a rough night. But like, yeah, it's gonna be a good tournament. Obviously, I'm in it. I'm wrestling Akira. Atticus Kogar's in it. Rina Yamashita, Masashi Takeda. There's a mystery guy. That should be a good one. There's who else is in it? Who am I fucking missing right now? I'm the worst when it comes to remembering every fucking.
Well, you won this 3 years in a row, right?
No, I never won NGI. I won TOS 3 years in a row.
How did you win 3 years in a row?
Tournament of Survival and that's usually in
there's too many
June.
fucking deathmatch tournaments.
There is. Somebody
Fucking
brought that up
ridiculous.
to me really recently. You're like, don't you think there's too many Yeah, that sometimes. I mean, but you're not going to remember every deathmatch tournament. There's only certain ones that are like here, and then you got a bunch that are like here.
I only
You know what
remember
mean?
the ones you won, Alex.
Of course, because I'm the fucking guy.
But how do you space out like being in it? Like, say you're in a tournament going all the way to the finals,
Yeah.
and then just having it like just one death match on a show. Like, do you have to like really sort of space things out per match in those
Psychology?
Sort of, like,
You gotta you gotta go in there with honestly, you gotta go in there with a game plan. You have to really use psychology in your matches. Because if you go in there and you do this for every fucking round, you're gonna be toasted by the time the finals comes. So you gotta be smart about what you do, and then you gotta like kind of have an understanding of what the crowd might want to see, and then you gotta kind of have an understanding on how you could use your magic to captivate people. You're welcome.
yeah,
Cade's like this guy. It's so cringe.
But Cade, you're done with death matches, right? Like,
I'm trying to get a job. I'm engaged. I have a wife and I have a stepson. I got to pay those bills. We all can't be, don't let me look at Alex behind him. He's got more fucking figures than Walmart. Obviously, priorities are there for Alex. But, no, man,
I take care of mine, guy. All right.
I know you do. I love
every
you.
now and then.
No, dude, you know what it is, man? At least for me, there's deathmatch wrestling has been, not that I care. I care, but it's been a lot of guys that have come in where it's just like I see a lot of guys. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? Like I'm doing tomorrow. It's myself and G Raver against HC Logan Masada. Like that's what I'm doing. It's got to be something I really want to do against the right guy or the right opportunity. The days of like traveling to Detroit and wrestling some fucking schmuck in Horror Slam named Alex Colon are just long behind me.
Yeah.
I love deathmatch wrestling. Like I said, I want to show you get pigeonholed. Like Alex is listen, man, we can rattle off phenomenal wrestlers. Alex is a phenomenal wrestler, deserves a lot more than just being a deathmatch guy. He's happy with that, but he's 1,000 times better than just being a deathmatch guy. And I think there's a lot of guys that need to show that. And that's just what my goal is right now. But if the right opportunity came, absolutely. It just has to be, in my eyes, the right opportunity for me to get my car and leave my family.
And make sense. Yeah, it's got to make sense.
Well, it always does. I agree with that. Like I was saying earlier, like when you do these things, when you do anything wrestling involved, like there has to be some give back from it, like exposure, money. There has to be something like experience. Something has to be given to you in order for you to give to it. Even though everybody says wrestling owes us nothing, it doesn't. But like when it comes to like that moment, like you need to take something out of it, or what's the point of even doing the match or taking the spot? Like, what's the point? There has to be a point to it.
Yeah, and like I said, my mindset's different. Alex, you can contest to it. Like, for the longest time, I was a single guy. I only had to worry about myself. Now I got a fucking house. I got other people I got to worry about. If I'm laid up, yeah, it's great. I don't need to worry about anything but me. Now I got 2 other people and 2 other mouths I got to feed and worry about. So it's not that I don't want to do death matches. It's just that it has to make sense. It has to be the right opportunity. It's just, I'm not going to go out there and kill myself for no reason anymore.
Well, for us old guys, the days of making your pay and then going to the bar afterwards and wasting your pay are long gone, my friend.
You got paid?
Bills. Got to pay bills. Yeah, I barely got paid, bro.
We all struggle, dude. I remember those CZW paydays, fucking barely, going to the Wawa, fucking stocking up on iced tea and fucking
Wawa trips, bro. That'd be the whole pay. A Wawa trip be the
That's
whole
it,
pay.
Man. Tournament of death, fucking thinking you're gonna get that big payday, and then like you motherfucker.
Oh no, not enough. Not enough. All right.
Or before you have to go, Piers. This goes like way too long. I saw one of my students, Bam Sullivan, went on. How do you feel about guys going out fans online? Like I think somebody tweeted to him. Like I do it privately. I'll talk to them sideways, like to my boys. But like I think one fan was like bitching at him that he didn't take his shirt off or he didn't bleed it.
Fuck.
Yeah, but like
don't listen to that.
That's my thing. But like, dude, this new generation, they go right after the fans. Like you're giving them that attention.
Yeah, I wouldn't even acknowledge that.
Like that's no sell that. Like no sell that shit.
I wear that jersey now. You know, and God forbid if somebody says something about that, I'll just laugh at him. Be like, then you could get in the ring against me. Let's see what happens.
Dude, I just thought you were trying to be Nikki. I was like, what the fuck's Alex doing here with the Bulls jersey?
It's my thing. It's my thing now.
Now it's the jersey. Well, whatever, man.
Now
You are the
it's the
Michael
jersey
Jordan
thing.
of wrestling.
Whatever.
Who is it? Is it you or Murdoch? I see the debate.
So what was
like,
up with
he's like the Karl Malone. He'll get the game 7, but you know, after at game 7, I'm hitting that clutch.
Was there more of a story behind that the 23 Jordan jersey?
No, it was a Nick Gage homage, and then also like at one point Jordan did the 3-peat, so it was also an homage to their 3rd championship before he quit and then came back again as 45 for whatever fucking reason.
Wow, man! That's
so when I quit and come back, Kate, I'll have a number 45 on.
There you go, Brandon.
That's
bro,
it, man.
I'm working the storylines.
Working the gimmick, brother. But guys, we are at that 1 hour mark. Firstly, Alex, Cade, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great having you guys on again, being on Shooting the Shit Uncensored. I feel like we could honestly sit here and talk for another couple of hours, to be honest. It's going that well. And I think we'll probably have to do it again sometime down the track.
Yeah, we didn't even bury fucking Raver. This is bullshit.
What, man, we've given him enough airtime. He's made enough money off of our fucking names.
Yeah.
But guys, where can everyone find you? You guys both on social media and Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good shit.
Search my name because I don't remember all the handles.
My name is right there. That's all my stuff. So just click on that or
hit the search bar. You'll find
me.
That's it. Guys, huge shout out to our sponsors, Health Vape and Sleeps.com. Make sure you use promo codes MWAPod to get a 10% discount. Guys, in 1 hour's time, make sure you tune in for Killing the Business with ECW Original, the Kingpin, Angel motherfucking Medina, and also King Mega and the Burger King. But guys, again, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think we should definitely do this again
Thank you.
very soon, man. All right, guys. Till next time, guys. We'll see you soon. Peace.